Welcome to another episode of Now from Nashville with Tim and Chelsea, and it is a CMA party here at the Secret Session, and we are so honored to have these guys with us. Not only are they Grammy Award winners, they are CMA nominees. Their latest album just released a couple of weeks ago. Nobody's Nobody is their brand new single. Phenomenal. The Brothers Osborne, everybody.
Thank you. Oh, we have a crowd.
I just peeked. That's it for me.
You're done?
Yeah, I'm done.
Tim's done for the interview. This is the deepest Tim's voice has ever been. He's trying to sound like TJ.
Yeah, I'm trying to out TJ.
I don't know what to say.
It sounds natural.
It sounds natural.
Congratulations. This album is amazing. This is like a new level for your sound.
Thank you.
And it's different. It's so different for you.
Yeah, it's different, but it's different, but the same. You know, it's different in that we changed a producer, and we used some different musicians. We took a completely new approach, but it's still our songs. It's still TJ singing, it's still me playing. So it sounds very much like us, but just with a different sheen to it.
So wouldn't you say like you took a different approach because you did like take some time and like you said you're switching? What is the different approach per se that you decided to take?
Well, I mean, without getting into all the nerdy stuff, because we could be here for the next 3 hours.
Do it.
No, but just the way that we want to approach the songs. Like, for instance, this time we didn't even think about going to the studio until we really had a ton of songs.
Yeah.
We didn't want to feel like, wow, we got 8 great ones and some that are pretty good to finish the album. We wanted an album that when we had it complete, that it would really bother us to lose any of the songs that were on it. So I really feel like, as far as from a writing perspective, it's the strongest writing that we've done. And then from there, just the way we went about recording, more nerdy stuff involved in it, but it was a totally different approach in so many ways. And we didn't want to finish with the album until we really felt like it was
ready.
Brought in actually kind of the world of hip hop on this one too, right? You guys are working with some guys.
Yeah, a guy named Mike Elizondo who got his big break working with Dr. Dre doing all the Eminem records. You guys
know who Dr. Dre is.
No big deal. And,
he's an up-and-comer.
We have high hopes for him.
Yeah, and it's crazy. He's actually not a doctor, which is nuts. We've gotten to learn. But those are the things you learn when you work with people.
Today I was 39 years old when I learned that.
John's whole image is ruined.
Yeah, so, but no, Mike it's really deep, the amount of music he can do. He's so versatile. Grew up playing jazz music, but he can do anything. I mean, he's worked everyone from, Dre, the hip-hop world, all the way to Regina Spektor, Ricky Lee Jones, Fiona Apple, and then doing like Ed Sheeran, 21 Pilots, Avenged Sevenfold.
I guess that was kind of the thing, is originally we wanted to kind of come in with this very like sonic theme through the whole album, but what we ended up with were a bunch of songs that we really loved, and they sounded way different than the next. And so working with a producer that really, I mean, he's worked with Carrie and Keith Urban to obviously these hip hop artists, and he's just done so many different things. We thought that was a really, really good fit. Just to have every song be its own little snapshot. And originally that wasn't the plan. The songs just kind of led us that way. But every song you can really hear are influences. I think even from the genre or the decade. Some of them are obvious, some of them are subtle, but definitely it was a lot of our influences came through.
Well, here's the
That's
thing,
so exciting. I love
is that with the new album, Might As Well Be Me, now Nobody's Nobody, even though you guys got a couple of new approaches on it, you still have that, I don't know about anybody else, that album feel like I just want to roll the windows down and just crank it to like, it's that thumping rock.
Which explains why Tim has no voice today. Apparently that's apparently what we've been doing.
His hair was brown earlier this morning.
It was. Now scared pink. But I mean, it really is still true to your guys' roots, that sound, even though you're putting in some more stuff.
Yeah, and I will say, just to add on to that, I mean, I think we grew up like huge country music fans, and the fact that we are in the current kind of regime of country going on, I think it's always like we've always tried to be a link in the chain to the past, but also take it someplace new.
Keep going with the forward
and we
momentum,
kind of felt the same place, even though we had kind of changed up working with producers and some musicians, that we still wanted to stay true to who we are, and for all the fans that have been with us for so many years, but also trying to make music that does hopefully improve the genre and pull it in a way that I think it should be going.
Well, you guys have had some, always the Brothers Osborne associated with wild stories, and like, I don't know how many people all of a sudden they're like, that guy John, he's really good on the guitar. I mean, seriously, it's amazing. Like, you guys were the ones who performed on top of your bus when the power went out.
Power went out, yeah.
So, I mean, what what is like the wildest gig besides that one that you guys have ever
being in the bus.
found yourself on? Besides playing on top of your own tour bus.
It's a long kind of sort of long story. If you have a minute.
We don't have anywhere to go.
Well,
just hold on.
What did you do? Oh, look at you taking your pants off. Hang on, I have to take my pants off
God,
first.
get comfortable.
It's slowly turning into this one.
Yeah. And it's kind of so it's a show that we did years ago. It was at Ole Miss. This was like when we were early days. We were playing any show that we could, and it was a fraternity party, and we got there.
Hired you to play.
At a frat house.
Yes.
Nice. And we
it was at a time in our career where we needed the money.
We needed the money bad, and it was like a lot of money for us at the time.
There was free bears and hot girls.
Yeah.
My God, have you guys played Gamma Kappa? Awesome.
So we got a van. It was a new. We almost didn't get a van because our tour manager, who we just hired that day, was her first day. She got into an argument with him, and the guy was like, "I'm not giving you the van." So it started out weird, but anyway, we got the van. We rode all the way down there, and then we set up to play the show. And then in the middle of us setting up, someone pulls the fire alarm, and there's just like beer everywhere. There's a bunch of people drinking everywhere, and underage drinking.
Not in college.
I know, isn't that crazy? And it was a classic crawfish boil. You know, where they have all stuff, which I love those.
Oh, dude.
And so we all like kind of end up going inside. Someone pulled the fire alarm. There's like police and fire trucks showing up. And of course, there's a bunch of people underage drinking and just like stuffing beer in their pants and hiding and all this other stuff. So that happened. Then all of a sudden, it was an oddly cold day. Then it started like raining and sleeting. So we're like, oh my God, we need to cover up the stage or something. Like we need to get something put down.
They had taken the tarps that were supposed to be used to cover
that's
beer
right.
on our stage.
And
when the police came, they used the tarps to hide all of the beer.
No.
And
That's
God,
right. I
yes.
forgot
which
about
then
that.
got all of the crawfish boil stuff all over all the tarps. And then when they left, it started raining and sleeting. So then they covered the stage and the tarps that had crawfish boil all over it.
Yeah.
And then
That was the least of the
we went to
problems.
go on. We finally pulled off, and we're like, whatever. This day's just been something else.
is shocking.
And then we are like, hey, the stage is really slick because it's snowing.
Right.
It was weird. And so they go and they get these rugs, and they throw these rugs, and people have thrown up all over the rugs.
Oh my God.
I caught the rug. Just throw the rug over. I'll catch it. I caught it and landed on my head. Like draped over me. I took one breath in. Like,
Oh my God.
that's vomit. That's vomit. And it was on my head.
They said, hey, guys, don't use the men's room. Use the women's. It's a lot nicer. And we went in there, and there was out of like 12 toilets, only one of them worked. It was like, oh my God.
And it looked like a murder scene in there too.
Something else. And then we go to play, and then
That's the amazing part.
the
You
lights,
haven't even hit the
I
stage
was
yet.
gonna
we
say,
haven't played
this
yet.
hasn't even started
There's
yet.
still
This is
even
the pre-show.
there's other details. This story is like an hour long of all the other random things that have happened. And then we go to take the stage, and then the lights shut off, and then there's no one there that knows how to turn them back on. So we played
Because the lighting guy was at another gig.
on a college.
He
gig
turned them
somewhere
on,
else.
and then he left.
And so we played the show.
They're working.
We played the entire show in the dark.
We played the whole show in the dark.
Yeah.
And then people started throwing like crawfish heads everywhere, and we're like getting pelted by crawfish heads, and that was it. And then that's how the
We
night
went to go
ended.
leave, and then we, the same tour manager who almost didn't get the van, locked the keys in the van. So then that was the thing. Then we finally got in the van. Then we packed up to leave, and then we got halfway down the road and realized that we had
No,
left
we got
half,
all the way back to Nashville.
and then realized we had left half of our guitars still there at Ole Miss. It was something else. It was like
still just look
yeah.
at each other and go, but we're gonna make it.
This was
We
one
got
show.
this.
it was.
Oh my
Thank
God.
you.
It was pretty brutal. So
Oh
fast
my
forwarding,
God.
one of the more pronounced ones that happened was we played the halftime show, the Thanksgiving Day halftime show, where up in Detroit, and the power went out there. The only difference, we were on national television when this happened. However, we were like, we've done this.
Yeah.
We've been on the
We've
stage.
been
It's
here.
lost power.
No one's throwing crawfish at us for fun.
I was like, what, we got this.
It's no big deal.
And John's not covered with a rug and vomit.
Vomit.
Yeah,
And no
I was
one's
almost
vomiting
covered
on
in my own vomit from nerves, but no.
Was that like the scariest? As far as
We
like,
held it
where you
together, but
did-
it was
yeah.
awful. Yeah, it was awful.
It was
It was an awful experience. Yeah,
Oh my
I still have a
God.
little PTSD from it, but it's okay. It's all right.
We unpack that on Thursdays.
You
Just
know,
nobody-
it was
nobody
interesting.
get
At the
crawfish
first we were
around
like,
him.
Oh man, we rehearsed so to nauseam for that show, and then that happened. However, it was interesting because we thought if it went off without a hitch, it would have only had like a quarter of the publicity it ended up having.
Right,
So
right.
it was like
True.
written everywhere. Now
No
I
such
don't
thing
know.
as bad
Yeah.
publicity?
Yeah,
Kind of.
and that's
Yeah,
since
there's
I'll
some.
take
There's
it. They're
some.
like,
Yeah.
Brothers Osborne looks like morons on the halftime. I'm like, oh, I'll take the headline.
The universe has definitely done everything in his
To mess with
power
you.
to keep us from pursuing our dreams, but we're not listening.
Yeah.
Well,
We're
the universe likes you playing in the dark apparently because everywhere you go, you lose power.
really pretty. I don't know
Yeah,
why.
they like
Why-
us
why
better.
do I keep doing
They
that?
like the way we sound better than the way we look. I get it.
God's
I
in
get
heaven
it.
going, watch this, they can play in the dark.
Yeah, exactly. Bam.
Well, the fourth
Y'all are
album,
so
you
good.
guys,
You still
the
have such
fourth
great heads on
album
your
is
shoulders.
fantastic. The new
Thank you.
single, Nobody's Nobody.
Thank you.
It is amazing.
It's
Make
awesome.
sure
So
you go
happy
out and
for
get
you
this
guys,
album
too.
today.
Thank you.
And we're here
We'll
at
do
the
it for you.
CMA nomination. Congratulations on the nomination, by the way.
Thank
I
you.
appreciate
Thank
that.
you.
Yeah.
You guys are absolutely fantastic. The Brothers Osborne, everybody.
So good.
All
Thanks for
right.
watching.
So
Now
good.
from Nashville, Tim and Chelsea. It's New Country 103.1.